Voorhees Costumes 2022 Jason Animatronic has been leaked. Let's jump right into it. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and welcome to a kind of unexpected video, because another Voorhees Costumes 2022 animatronic has been leaked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the elusive Gemmy / Voorhees Costumes Jason animatronic is finally going to be released for the 2022 Halloween season, and it has been a long time in the making. If you're unfamiliar, it has been known for a while now that Voorhees Costumes has been in the works with Gemmy, the manufacturer, to produce a brand new officially licensed Jason animatronic to release as part of one of their Halloween lineups. Well, it was supposed to be released in the 2019 Halloween season for Voorhees Costumes. It got canceled. Then Voorhees Costumes postponed it to the 2020 Halloween season. It got canceled. And then it got canceled once again in 2021 just for the trifecta. Well, over the many years of it being supposed to be getting released and then getting canceled, there's been many photos of the prototype being manufactured. There's been pictures of these samples being showcased at various Halloween expos and conventions, and there's just been a lot of media about this animatronic before it actually made its official release. Well, it looks like the release of the brand new Jason animatronic is finally upon us, because the official website listing for the Gemmy Jason animatronic on Voorhees Costume site has been updated with a brand new price, as well as a brand new official stock photo of what looks to be the actual officially produced release model that will be coming out for the 2022 Halloween season. So without further ado, let's take a look at the brand new, finally releasing Gemmy / Voorhees Costumes 2022 Jason animatronic. Alright, so before I get into my thoughts and my reactions to this brand new stock photo of the released model for the Jason animatronic, I do want to get a couple of things out of the way. Number one, at this point, at the time of filming this video, we only have one stock photo of this guy, and as of right now, we also do not have an official demo video, so we don't for sure know what his animations will be. There are some rumors, and there are some things that we have heard from the prototype model, but as for the final version that is gonna get released, we're not 100% on what animation he will have, because we don't have a video and we only have a singular stock photo. The second thing I will say is, as of right now, we are not sure what Friday the 13th movie this is officially licensed by. Obviously, we tend to see with various licensed products that they will purchase a license for a specific part of the franchise. We do not know which Friday the 13th this character is being pulled from. It has not been added to the description or anything as of right now, so we don't know, but I'm sure you can figure it out by taking a look at his outfit and comparing it to various movies. So jumping right into his secret listing, if you will, and the reason I call it that is because his listing is up on the website, but this is kind of a pre-version of it, where Voorhees Costumes has uploaded his name, price, and stock photo, but he is not officially up for order as of yet, so technically this is a leaked listing, because it's not officially up, it's kind of hidden, and it has been dug up, so it's kind of a leaked listing, if you do want to call it that. So I want to say right now, I'm actually a pretty big fan of this animatronic for a different couple of reasons. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we have gotten a decent amount of pictures of this guy over the past couple of years. From his prototype version, to like his second prototype version, to his sample, all the stuff at the expos and the conventions. I actually believe that this one right here, the released model, is most likely the best one out of all of the different versions of the prototypes and samples that this guy has seen over the past couple of years. I'm actually a pretty big fan of the detailing of this guy and just the overall sculpt and design. There are a couple of things that I feel like bring him down a little bit, but I will get to those in a second. Starting at the top and taking a look at his mask, I actually think this looks really awesome. His very iconic and very infamous hockey mask, I feel like looks really good on this animatronic. It seems to feature some weathering, some staining on it, and some very good dark yellow paint. I think it came out looking really good, and once again, it just looks very weathered, very accurate to multiple of the real Friday the 13th movies, so I think the mask came out looking very good. One of my favorite things about this animatronic is actually underneath the mask, and this is his eyes and his face. Taking a look at this stock photo, I feel like the way that Gemmy, as the manufacturer, did the eyes looks really, really awesome. Obviously, for the right eye, you have the kind of film over it that looks like a damaged eye. It looks really realistic, honestly. I really enjoy the way that they actually, Gemmy as a manufacturer, once again, they kind of put a white paint over an actual eyeball texture, so you can kind of see the pupil, but it's behind a film. Looks really realistic. I love the way that came out. His left eye is in good condition. It's meant to look like a real human eye. That also looks really good. I love the paint job on it. The pupil looks really realistic. It seems to have a kind of shine to it, which gives it a very organic, human-like attention or look to it. I really enjoy the way that came out. The whole face looks really decent, and especially the neck. If you take a look at the neck, from taking a look at the stock photo, you can actually kind of see the vein in his neck. That looks really good. I mean, it looks really realistic. The paint job on it, his skin color looks like a real skin color, and also the sculpt of the entire head and neck just looks really good. So another thing I really like about this animatronic is the clothing and the clothing choices. Even more, the clothing material. I feel like Gemmy did a great job dressing this brand new Jason Voorhees animatronic. First of all, because of his jacket. From this stock photo, the jacket looks like it's made out of a real clothing material. I really like how it looks like it's worn. It looks like it was like put on out in the weather and it looks damaged, just like Jason's jacket would. Like he was out there doing some work out in the bad weather. The paint job on it looks really good, and once again, it looks like a heavy-duty material, which is always great. He's got an undershirt on that is a kind of light tan color, kind of like a sand color almost. Looks pretty good. And then probably my least favorite thing for his clothing is his pants. And the only reason I say that is because his pants seem to be a little bit of a bad, cheap material. You know when an animatronic is wearing cheap pants, where that's kind of just made out of like a very thin material. Kind of looks like that, unfortunately, on this Jason animatronic, but I can't complain because the rest looks pretty good. So my next talking point for this animatronic is his hands, and of course his signature machete. Now, unfortunately, this is one of the talking points that I feel like brings this animatronic down just a bit. I don't even have a huge problem with his hands. I actually feel like his hands look decent. The sculpt on them kind of does look like fingers, and the gloves also look pretty good. I'm talking about the machete when I say that I kind of bring this animatronic down. The machete just very much looks like it's made out of plastic. The kind of cheap plasticky machetes that are very cheap. They sell for like $10 and $15. It honestly looks like that this animatronic is holding one of those cheap plastic machetes. I feel like Gemmy should have put a little bit more money into the design and the sculpt and the quality of the machete, especially when it's one of his main things. Jason's signature item is his machete, his blade, so they should have put a little bit more detail into it instead of making it look very cheap and very plasticky. I feel like that brings the animatronic down just because he looks a lot less scary when you look at his blade and see that it's like very cheap looking and very shiny. I wish it did a little bit of a better job on it, but once again, I can't complain a ton because I very much enjoy his outfit and I very much enjoy his entire face sculpt and his mask. Now, another thing that I feel like brings this animatronic down, at least for me, is the kind of build of this guy. Now, I just have to say, I kind of feel like he a little bit looks like he's a robot, and the reason I say this is his legs are straightforward up. Alright, it's not a huge issue, but I notice it. My main issue when it comes down to the arms. I feel like the way that his arms are posed, at least in this stock photo, look very robotic and very straightforward. They don't look like they're organically laid down, like how you're just standing and your arms are just kind of like there. This guy very much looks like an animatronic. He looks like a prop, the way that his arms are kind of posed. His right arm doesn't really look that good. His machete is just kind of held up in like a weird stance, and his left arm is just kind of down by his leg. I don't really like how it looks. It looks very robotic to me. Very much just looks like a mannequin or a prop, and I feel like Gemmy should have done a little bit of a better job on his framing and his build, because he looks very robotic and very much like a mannequin instead of a real person. A little bit disappointing, and I feel like it does bring down the animatronic, at least in my opinion. So I know I mentioned his animation in the beginning of this video, so I do want to talk about that again. So like I said, as of right now, we do not have an official demo video for this guy, so I can't for sure pinpoint what his animation will be. However, we do know what the prototype's animation was, and most likely the release model, will feature the same animation that the prototype did. What the prototype did was eye movement and arm movement. Now, this isn't the best out of animation, honestly. I feel like they could have done a little bit more. I do enjoy that it has eye movement. Always eye movement makes something look a lot more realistic when the eye actually darts around to look at things. I always love eye movement, and I'll always enjoy it when it's on an animatronic. No problem with that. When it comes down to arm movement, I'm not sure how good it will look on this animatronic. Like I mentioned, I feel like the arms are a little bit robotic looking already, and I hope that the animation doesn't make it look any more robotic. Hopefully the arm doesn't just go up and down. Hopefully it has a kind of organic, realistic looking wiper motor on it, so that the arm actually like goes slowly and then fast to give it a realistic looking movement to it. Maybe a bend at the joints, so it actually looks like a real arm. Hopefully the animation is decent and doesn't make it look more robotic than his frame already does, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I am very excited to see his eye movement behind the mask. Alright, so finally, I do have to mention that this guy will be retailing for $379.90, just about 380 United States dollars. And once again, this is another one of the things that I feel like heavily brings down this Gemmy Jason animatronic. And I feel like this is something that brings down almost all the Morris Costumes animatronics that we see, not only this year, especially this year, but also the past couple of Halloween seasons. We've seen that Morris Costumes animatronic prices have really skyrocketed. Their props have gone to prices that nowhere near suit what the animatronic does or the quality of it, and just way beyond what the animatronic should be. Once again, this is another one of those situations because $380 for what this animatronic looks like and what he does is just way overpriced. First of all, he's only going to have eye movement and arm movement. You could really cut down the price just for that. And then also his quality. Obviously, I mentioned throughout this video that I do enjoy the look of this guy, and I feel like he does look pretty cool. He has a good sculpt, he has really good face, and everything like that. However, I'm sure he's going to be pretty cheap quality because he's manufactured by Gemmy. Gemmy has had a huge downturn in their quality over the past couple of years, so I'm sure that he's going to have some plastic pieces and some flimsy things to put him together. $380 is way overpriced. This guy should be somewhere in the $280 to $300 range. Going to $380 is just way overpriced, around $80 overpriced in my personal opinion. And for that price, I've seen a lot of other people say this, just go ahead and spend a little bit more money to buy the original Gemmy Jason animatronic that was released at Spirit Halloween in 2007 and 2008. It was manufactured by Gemmy also, but it was back in the day when they were making high quality stuff that was not only all made out of metal, but it was also super detailed, super scary, and super accurate to the films that they were being pulled from. So, if you're going to spend $380 on this Jason animatronic, go ahead and spend just a little bit more to buy the original classic version that was released in 2007 and 2008 at Spirit. It's a way better animatronic, it's much more rare, and it's way better quality than what this thing will be. And also, it does just give you way more bang for your buck compared to this Jason animatronic. Like I mentioned, I actually do enjoy this one quite a bit. I feel like the look of him is actually pretty decent, and I feel like his animation will suit him pretty well. However, like I mentioned, there is things that, in my opinion, bring him down. That is being his price, his posture, and also just his roboticness. I feel like he does look a little bit robotic and a little bit like a mannequin. Those are the things that I feel like bring him down. And again, the price is just a huge negative for me. It's a huge con. It's way overpriced. He's really not worth it. And you could just get so much better stuff for the same price. So much bang for your buck. Again, if you go for the original Jason animatronic. But nonetheless, this is not a bad rendition of a Jason. Gemmy has definitely done better in the past, but nonetheless, this is one of the better Gemmy animatronics that we've seen over the past couple of years, probably 3 or 4 years. This is one of the better Gemmy animatronics, and I'm glad to see that he will finally be getting released for the 2022 Halloween season. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up my video, taking a look at and reacting to the brand new, finally getting released, leaked Morris Costumes 2022 Jason animatronic. Once again, this is definitely not the worst animatronic that Morris Costumes has ever released. Like I said, it looks alright. There's definitely some good things about him, but at the same time, there definitely are some cons, and there's definitely some negatives. Once again, if you're considering picking up this guy, please just spend a little bit more money to get the original Jason. You will like him a lot more, he's a lot cooler, and you'll just be much happier with him than you would be if you got this one for $380. But nonetheless, if you really can't afford the original, I guess you can pick this one up because he does look pretty decent, and he will kind of quench your thirst, if you will, when it comes down to horror fans and when it comes down to a love for Friday the 13th. Well, ladies and gentlemen, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll see you guys later for more Morris Costumes 2022 videos. Goodbye.